Yes.
But
Academic course.
when the students is your commodity, no?
True.
Once they pass out from your college,
Yes.
what is their market value? That is what
that's
is important.
important. Yes.
And we have to see from that angle.
Yes. True.
People have got money.
True.
They can actually put sensor, everything,
Right.
everything, AC room, everything.
Yes.
What is the use?
The quality of student.
Assessment is made here. We know that 100 students pass
If
out.
they are getting A++, I'm sure that this is one of the criteria. The program was under, I taken a program. One of the areas I evaluated is the quality assurance. So I evaluated the inspiration of the quality assurance and what they have done and what they need to improve. And
So what are the percentage of female students in the university?
In our college, female students are, the number of female students is more than boys.
Okay.
that's a trend.
60% students are female.
60%. Yes. But then more the females all they get employed or
Yeah, they get employed equally as
Employment means, you see, there is a government sector, there are
Yes.
private sector, and then own entrepreneurship.
yes.
So everyone is doing something or the
I
other.
forget very important sector, which is the NGO.
Even the student-
So far, our countries are not developing well because always I think NGOs is the lower sector. Because in countries, developed countries, they put it as the top. It is really it's a very strong employer and source for development and so on.
Yeah.
We should really work for this third sector. For it.
How is the condition of women in Bali?
Very good. I mean, as students, also we are above 60% in the postgraduate. As professors, we are high percentage. As professional doctors in the hospital, we are high percentage. And even in employment, I mean, in the government, we are 53%. Entrepreneur, we are 47%. In the private sector, we are a little bit lower, 37%, but still the unemployment rate is higher among women.
80% of unemployed people are women.
So here, that's what I was asking. So although now we are having high percentage in most of the sectors, but still.
Welcome, Prof.
She's B.D. Patil, Dr. B.D. Patil,
Yes.
Department of
Economics.
She's also Vice President.
We work as an inspiration.
So do you find there is any difficulty in working on women's empowerment issues? Is it very difficult to work there?
No, and as Bahrain, we claim that we are beyond even women empowerment. Yes.
Yeah.
So
We have a plan called Women Advancement. The earlier plan, the earlier 10-year plan, the government, there was a plan for women empowerment. The last 5 years, we started, since 5 years, we started the 10-year plan for women advancement, which is higher than even women development. We have 3 levels: women empowerment, women development, women advancement.
So
And
you
for
are
that, they are
women
considered like
advancement.
European countries and their achievements and so on.
and even the gender pay gap in Bahrain is not that big issue.
As compared to the other countries.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have a gender gap, right?
pay gap, yes.
Pay gap.
Yeah.
Even in the university or in other jobs. I mean,
No, in universities and in teaching, in government sector, wages are equal to men and women.
okay,
They are
same as Bahrain.
perfectly, yeah.
Yeah.
But in informal sector, for example, working on fields, there is a distinction.
Yeah, I think this is the problem.
Yeah, this is the great.
Yeah.
This is
The
the-
government first fix themselves because it's easier.
Yeah, but the private owners of the land,
Yeah.
they are not allowing this equal wages in
Yes. Although we can see that women in India, they work more.
Yeah.
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 Even in
Women
private-
work more. Yeah.
Yes.
Even in private, they are, you can see that their productivity is.
And they are more engaged in the agricultural activities.
Yes.
Even
Even
though,
in building
even
and
though
I-
they have lesser land ownership,
Yes.
but still they are engaged more.
Yes.
than
Yesterday we visited the Gangapur side, so I just showed them the women where they were doing farming and all the other things in the landscape.
Yes.
Sir is engaged with many problem solving projects
Excellent.
for last many years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For about 13 years.
Okay.
Last 14 to 13 years I am working on employment guarantee schemes.
Okay.
Employment guarantee scheme.
EGS.
EGS. Earlier it was EGS, now it is called NREGS.
Manarega.
It is employment guarantee scheme for eradication of poverty. Basic objective is eradication of poverty through employment generation. And this scheme is applicable to all villages in India.
Okay.
Especially rural areas.
So you train them skills, you give them skills, or what you do? Or you make sure your placement for them? Or?
No, they provide employment for unemployed, local unemployed
Right.
in the villages. So the scheme, anyone can demand.
Okay.
And this within 15 days also, they will get
Employed.
employment
Okay.
at their nearest places
Okay.
where they reside. So they can find employment there in the villages on their own, and they can work on water conservation, soil conservation,
Right.
many environment friendly
So these projects are government funded.
Government.
The water conservation.
Yeah.
These schemes are government.
Yeah. I presented paper, recently I presented paper on this land grabbing movement in Nashik district. So there are tribals who are alienated from the forest land. This is happening since colonial period. During colonial period, British government grabbed all the forest resources and forest land and declared it as a national property.
Okay.
And the local residents, tribal poors, who have been working on the forest since long years, so they became alienated from the land. And now they are demanding that we have no land, we are landless, and we are grabbing government forest land for sake of our land.
Okay.
So they are grabbing 2 acre, 3 acre piece of land. They are grabbing government forest land and cultivating.
And the competition has been organized for 2 competitions, call for papers and another one is project.
Yeah.
So the winning prize is around $1,000 for each. Okay. And they do have the journals, international journals, a big journal.
This is an inspiring story.
Inspiring story.
Yeah.
So you can publish
it.
things.
If you present it in conference, then you can publish it.
In a paper,
Yeah.
in our journal.
Yeah,
So
sure.
that would be.
So that link is there in the card.
Yes, and you can put, you have my email.
Email, yeah, I can
Send
send
me
it.
an email and then I'll tell you.
I can just forward you all the details that
You are
I have.
Yeah.
encouraging people who's doing inspiring stories,
Stories.
resilient stories, or youth-related stories,
Yeah.
case studies, I mean.
Yes.
That to be published in
Yeah.
this journal.
I have got some.
These
Yes.
are in the way.
Yeah.
This is what I want you after we go.
And they are academic
So the
journal.
more we
Yeah.
bring from here,
Scope
even we can
us.
make like special issue under BRDF and India, special issue bring it. We have every 6 months.
Mhm.
We have, yes, special issue collected with you.
So, yeah, yeah.
So that will be the contact.
We have our own plan also,
Yeah.
but these are actually very innovative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
And-
multidisciplinary work,
Yes.
so
Yes.
multidisciplinary field.
So our-
So it's not
your-
only for one specialty, because normally you are a mixture of
Yeah,
lots of
yeah.
things.
And this is
We use
applicable.
economy with the social problem, with this, so it's more of socioeconomy.
Doesn't need
So
to wait.
yes, so it's not like a specialized.
Yeah, yeah. And this is not the tribal issue from
Can
India.
use it later.
It is applicable to all indigenous peoples all over the world.
Yes,
You need only.
And-
Because they are facing the similar
Yes.
Multidisciplinary.
and me and special determination Muhammad is very interested in indigenous people.
That's
So that's
why
why even this year we
our
were in
publisher.
Canada and we went to present the indigenous people there. We visited New Zealand to see the indigenous people there. Because all these indigenous people, they have very lots of similarities.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe in India, all of you are indigenous people. So there is not this problem like in
6,000 is
Canada, Australia, that they have these red Indians. And
without reference.
This is what is it.
Yes.
So he's the principal of the college.
Hello, yes.
Please carry on.
We have 7.5% indigenous people. Percentage of indigenous people, 7.5%.
when you say indigenous people in India, I thought that all of Indians are Indians. They are not like, for example, Canada, they have indigenous and people came from Europe.
Yeah. So these are original inhabitants of land. You can say.
Yes.
Tribes.
They have the tribes, yeah.
I presented this paper in Canada. University of Toronto.
We just came from
We
Canada.
just came over there last month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 month we stayed very proud. We visited many cities, universities.
Ours was international sociological conference there. In Toronto.
Okay. Just tell you can publish it, this is already.
Yeah, I will send it.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
We'll encourage more.
आपसे मैं बात कर दूँ इसका
So, and here were lots of projects that we done with them.
Yeah. So shall we start the lecture?
Okay, so and do you publish any works from different departments together?
Yeah, we do. We have published many journal of our own, social sciences journal. We have published 2 issues so far.
This is
So,
the university journal.
No, college.
College journal.
Yeah, we have got
Okay.
independent journal, social sciences.
Okay.
And at university level, we although we don't have any official independent journal of our own university, but we publish many journals.
Yeah.
UGC has prepared a list of journals, and they are standard journals. So our college teachers regularly publish. In those
And so the one which was in previous December, Material Science Journal, that was college journal? Yeah, NFC.
No.
It was international.
No, but my question is, do the professors from different schools cooperate together in one research?
Multidisciplinary.
Multidisciplinary.
Multidisciplinary research. That's one of our strengths.
That is yours.
That most of our published papers, I talk about me and here, and also the ones we receive in our journal, our colleagues in Slovenia, Bosnia, areas where this Morocco, these countries, they started to get influenced by whatever we're saying. Multidisciplinary research will be very strong
Yeah.
in the future. So that's what she is.
That is actually need of the hour.
Yeah.
Working in multidisciplinary process.
Yeah. For example, I teach sociology undergrad. He used to teach the MBA students who are master students, of course. We used even to mix our students together. And I let my student evaluate my undergraduate student evaluate his postgraduate students and vice versa. And of course also we publish a lot together. So we bring both points of views together.
That is very important.
Yes. And it was helpful even
Based
for
on
our
the field
students.
research. And we have lots of field research. Most of, different research, but most of it, if you see the earlier issues, we had the Socioeconomic journal. The first 3 years was published by the university, because we brought it to university. But with time, we've seen that this is an obstacle for many authors. They don't want to publish under a university publisher. Okay, so we transfer it to an international publisher, well-known international publisher. And that encourage, by the way, people to give more contribution.
In India, we have Economic and Political Weekly is one of the leading journal. Social science is one. Another is social science. It's called social science. And then sociological bulletin we have. And current sociology, international.
We are working a lot with behavioral economics.
You are working.
As aspiration economy, we encourage behavioral economy because it is the trend that we want to influence also governments to make decisions based on labs, on studies and so on, instead of creating decisions without proper studies and so on. So that's also
that you use the term economic resilience.
yes.
So do you have postgrad at the university?
Yeah, we have postgraduate departments here.
Okay, master.
Master and PhD. The PhD departments are 12 and master departments are 28.
Okay. So here you can encourage, especially postgraduate students are more closer for publication and they want to publish,
yeah.
especially before their PhD thesis. So here where they can easily publish with us and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
enter the competition. And they can do even their project that help their thesis as well to prove their theories.
So, are you giving any particular subject for this essay competition?
No,
No,
there is no
inspiration
section.
and inspiration, resilience or youth. These are the areas. So if the project might be under electrical department, for example, okay, electronics, okay, but it's creating something for the community to solve a problem,
Yeah,
like
applicable.
To make it socioeconomic.
it's a problem solving.
Yeah.
You are solving a problem for the community. That will be our target. So you see, for example, people publish, I send you, you can send also Prof. Ghosh to spread it. Different people solving different problems, but in the end, how much is solving the community problem? Like for example, some people they will solve it relevant to food, okay, relevant to animals, but it's how much it affects the community.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because they measure it at the end of the day, how much it reach, people represented about, for example, learning obstacles for students,
Yeah.
languages or something, but how much it influenced their
Yes.
life and change their mindset and so on.
This is we call public science,
Yes.
public sociology, public economics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It has sometimes
Yeah.
a little bit of humanities, but sometimes it's technical. It's a very technical paper.
Very technical.
Okay. For example, people write about factor of unemployment. A very technical, very economic paper. But in the end, it'll show you how much that influenced to improve
Common people.
U.S.
Common.
employment.
Yeah.
Yes. In Algeria, for example, one of the papers I remember. We have a professor. She always publishes with us. Approximately each issue she will have. She's from Slovenia. She's talking about how much she brought the eco-tourism to her country through doing different techniques, solving different problems.
एक दोन फोन करतोय किती अगोदर फाउंडेशन होतं ते संपलं आणि पुढची तयारी
Shall we move or what's
So that also takes care of issues. And we have so many programs we empower.
And does this women empowerment department work in women research as well or no?
Research in their respective subjects.
Okay.
Not specifically, like if it is for, it comes under the sociology
Department.
department.
Yes.
So such kind of research is also going on, but it is with respect to that, their principal subject.
Yeah.
For which
So it's
they
not
are-
only a woman support center for women, it's also about the researchers.
Yeah.
I know you're busy.
Okay.
No.
Don't
Your discussion.
And we empower them about all the legal issues. Like in case of something goes wrong, what are the realities about it? And in our community, so we have a lawyer also. He is a committee member. He is not a member of the college. He's not on. But then she comes and keeps on educating us. We have a doctor who takes them about health and hygiene.
Yes.
And once a year we also and further with programs like karate and all become strong. So that is, instead of knowing the things, the women, the girls, they become more confident. Like even if they just act that they know these things, probably they can handle some unavoidable issues.
And what type of complication you got out of the center?
Not rightly under women empowerment, like the research, but as I told you, it goes with the particular department. So from that, we have research papers and presentations that are done.
We celebrate
in
Sakhi Mahotsav. It's a big women's empowerment week.
Sakhi means friends.
Sakhi means friend.
And even if we
So
are talking
there-
about women empowerment, usually we have programs where the boys and girls both participate. So we are at the same time educating the boys also.
Yes. Work with contemporary.
Yeah.
I mean, now that you have this support centers for a few years, do you have the percentage? What are the top problems went down or went higher? Do you make such analysis? I mean, how many years now you have this women support center?
How many?
Years now. How old is it?
We have it from the time we are running this policy.
Yes.
We have
Maybe
the cell running.
more than 50.
More than 50.
And does the percentage of problems changed over the years?
Yeah, they are changing. Yeah.
So, I mean, this would be like interesting topic
Yeah.
to write about. I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
there are, of course, new things came
We should,
and
we should collect data and analyze it and
With
you,
all
rightly
these
you are
social
saying.
media coming in, we have different types of problems
Yes.
that are cropping up, and accordingly the programs that we are arranging also are changing in that scenario. So we have to be at
Yes,
par
so
with
this
them.
is very
Like it
interesting.
can be with respect to
Shall we move?
cybersecurity.
They are calling.
yes, okay.
Buheji. I also request her to kindly felicitate Dr. Dunya Ahmed Abdullah Ahmed, our second speaker. She is an assistant professor and lecturer in the Department of Social Sciences at the University of Bahrain and strategic planning and development advisor in Supreme Council for Women. In addition, she is scientific committee chairperson in Institute of Inspiration Economy. She completed her PhD in social work at the University of Warwick. She is the first person to hold a PhD in social work in Bahrain, specialized and concentrates mainly on gender equity and the rights of people with disabilities. She is co-founder of Inspiration Economy, concept, journals, projects and institutions around the world. She is also member of editorial board of several international scientific journals, in addition of being an active member of several NGOs and president of Inspiration Economy Society in Bahrain. I request also.
Want to present?
Okay. This program is organized also in collaboration of another center in Nashik, that is Peace Research Development Foundation, the founder of who is Dr. P.A. Ghosh.
This is for information to all. This particular program is being organized by Nashik-based NGO, Peace Research and Development Foundation, in association with IIIE, International Institute of Inspiration Economy. On behalf of the PRDF and IIIE, as a token of our love and affection to greatest college of Nashik, KTHM College, we would like to present a memento as well as one publication to our principal, sir, Matskar sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
I also request Dr. Matsagar to kindly felicitate Dr. P.A. Ghosh, who is the founder of Peace Research Development Foundation. Also the spokesperson Nikhil Singh. I request Matsagar sir to kindly felicitate.
Mr. Nikhil Singh is the spokesperson of PRDF in Nashik.
start, please.
You can start.
Okay. I request Dr. Kale to kindly felicitate our Vice Principal, Dr. B.D. Patil ma'am. I also request Kale sir to kindly felicitate Dr. Savle. I request Dr. P.A. Ghosh to kindly felicitate Kale sir. Also Dr. Matsagar. Also Dr. Matsagar sir. Now without wasting time, I directly invite Dr. Muhammad Buheji to kindly.
At this prestigious college, I've been hearing a lot about this college from Prof. Ghosh, and we are very proud to be in this college today. I just want to go down, please. That's it. And enlarge the page. That's it. Can you enlarge? Down. Percentage. Just I wanted to show you what means socioeconomic problems, or at least what we define socioeconomic problems. I think as Prof has mentioned rightly, is that today, for example, you guys are going to be graduating hopefully soon, and unless we see how we manage the problem of unemployment of graduating youth, we're going to have a socioeconomic crisis. What type of socioeconomic crisis? We'll have youth that we're going to either sit at home for some time and lose part of their life, or we'll have youth that will work in jobs maybe they did not wish to work for, and they don't like to work for it, or we'll have youth, which is the worst thing, migrate and go and make a knowledge drain for our community. So we have different challenges that's it. I think we are managing fine. Okay. Just I want to please bring down the table. So this is an example of where we tackled the issue of education, in higher education or in education itself. For example also, when you are educated, it doesn't mean you are getting inspired. Inspiration and learning is one issue, and getting educated is another issue. So the challenge for us today is that how much we can get inspired as students. All of us, by the way, we consider ourselves as students of life. And all of us, we consider ourselves a lifelong learners. But did really the education manage to help us to become lifelong learners? That's the challenge that we are talking about. So for that, in higher education, there is a major challenge today. Okay? Do we have really students that they are job creators, not job seekers? And how many they are? We don't want to have only statistics. I know that this university, sir, Mr. Vice Principal, you said that they are mostly employed or they are targeted by other companies and so on. But it is not enough. Okay, it's not enough that to have students that only employed by big companies. We need to have students that they really have the guts for it to be job creators. Whether as SMEs or they establish family business or support their family business, or they'll be people who change their society. Also, I call them a type of job creators. So this is one type of, again, higher education outcomes that we are looking for. Another example, just I'll show you another example that we're working for. And you can see there are many projects in each example. Just I can't go, for the sake of time, I cannot go through them. Again, can you go down? Try to enlarge the page more. Okay. For example, even in social development, we have lots of now elderly people. India is lucky today. You are having an average age, I think, of in the 20s and upper 20s, not the lower 20s. So in a few years, 20 years from now, you'll start to face actually the aging population. Like now, Japan is having, China is having, lots of European countries are having that and suffering from that. And that's an issue that we need to face from today. unless we start to get solutions, whatever is the solutions, whatever is your background, we can get lots of solutions from multidisciplinary approaches. And this is what is the purpose of, again, socioeconomic problem solving. Sometimes also we have people with disabilities, and they have the rights. If we are saying we are going to become, as India, we're going to become at 2025 one of the #1 developed countries, and or at least in GDP, then we should show that how much we care about people with disabilities, with different disabilities that we are showing. And for that, we need to work for that in different projects. Another thing, can you go faster? Same thing for water services. Okay, there's lots of water laws that we can see in our communities. Water leakage, water unutilized, unclean water, and these are type of socioeconomic problems that cause, because either it causes diseases or it make actually depleting resources goes away, and natural resources goes away from our country and so on. When we go for primary care, okay, which is again, we have in healthcare, we have 3 types of cares, right? Primary care, secondary care, tertiary care. Okay. When we go for primary care and we don't have a proper family physicians who can again capture our non-communicable diseases, you know, like again obesity, blood sugar, diabetes, blood pressure, asthma, and so on, we'll have also lots of cases that is increasing in our society. Now, with your economy, today you don't have this problem, but with your many people going to the middle class, you'll face this problem. Same as the rich countries in the Arab world is facing it today. We are #1 in the healthcare facilities, but also we are #1 in these non-communicable diseases, which means that having health facilities doesn't guarantee, or many doctors, or best doctors doesn't guarantee that we're gonna deal with the diseases. Unless we do certain techniques, we solve certain problems in different ways. Next. You can go faster also. Next. Same thing in public health. Okay, unless we do lots of work in public health, we cannot again protect people from getting poisonous, foodborne poisonous diseases and so on. Or same thing when we go for industrial sector and so on. Now we can start the presentation, please. You can start the presentation. Yeah. Okay. It's there, open. So I wanted to tell you we have entered more than 300 types of sectors or fields. And we have solved the problem not because we are clever, not because we have a specialty in that field. No, actually, one of our power is our ignorance. Because we are very humble, that we are ignorant about the problem, we start to use the utilization that education has given us, which is what? The power of observation. The more you claim you are educated, the more you should have the power of observation. And this is what will take us to why we chosen to talk in this prestigious college about inspiration and resilience economies in solving communities' problems. And we have written many books, as has been introduced before, which we invite you. Actually, I brought for you now here at least 2 electronic books for students that are going to participate with us during this 1 hour. We are going to give you electronic books that is available on Amazon and so on. We care about quality of life through solving, again, socioeconomic problems through utilizing our intrinsic powers. And our intrinsic powers are so huge, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen. For that, we should really work on the mindset. One of our problems that is blocking us not to use our intrinsic powers is this mindset. The more you are educated, the more you are a PhD like us, okay, and you become a professor or you are a practitioner and you are very popular, maybe you are a popular entrepreneur, the more you'll have a problem with your mindset. Why? Because your mindset will be very difficult to change. Whatever you perceive, you've been successful with it, or you had managed to build it because of failures. What will happen to your mindset? You see, this is the way I know the word about it. So you'll see the world only from one perspective. And this is the real challenge for anyone who wants to discover his intrinsic powers, like Randy that we are celebrating this week and last week about his memories and so on. Gandhi, he managed to extract his intrinsic powers, otherwise he will end up dying as a lawyer. But he died as a legend and as a prophet after the prophets, a new prophet, which is, we believe that prophets has finished at that time, but a new prophet that he's given the life for others, have changed the life of others while he's a human being like us, okay? Through discovering his intrinsic powers. And this intrinsic power comes from this ability to manage my mindset. So my question to you for the first book, okay, what is the mindset? We know that the mind is made from 4 loops, right? You know that, okay, especially those in sciences. The mind is, we have left and right mind. And we have the mind is made from 4 loops. The most dangerous loop that differentiates us from animals are the first loop. Please Google it today. The frontal lobe. This frontal lobe, God has differentiated us from any nearest animal to us, which is the chimpanzee. Okay? But still, there is something else that is controlling this frontal lobe to be utilized, called the mindset. Because this frontal lobe, if it is utilized, it will grow not only in size, but it will grow in utilization. Okay? You can utilize your frontal lobe by your ability to associate things. But if you are not humble, if you see your life from one perspective, if you believe whatever you know today, it is the whole world knowledge, then what will happen to you? Nothing will change, right? So even if you are growing in years, you are not really growing in your mindset, okay? Your ability to revolve your mindset every year, and you really generate a new mindset every time, this is your really differentiation, and this is what creates legends like Gandhi, Muhammad Ali Clay, you name it, Mahathir Mohamad, name it, even from India you have lots of legends and so on. This mindset is made from 4 things. Please write it down. And please today challenge your mindset. Okay? Change something in your mindset. It will disrupt your mindset. I am a mindset disruptor. Okay? I am a person who I claim I want to disrupt your mindset. Not your mind, your mindset. Okay? Your mindset is made from 4 things. The first thing, and it is, by the way, what we call learning. Because learning is not about how much you accumulate knowledge. It's not about how much you retrieve knowledge only. Learning is about ability to change your mindset. Okay? First thing, and most difficult thing, okay, it is our assumptions. How we see life. How we perceive life. How we perceive any situation. How we see when we present something to our goddess. How we see when we present something this morning and we take some time from your time to give flowers to each other. How we perceive these things, so our assumptions. The second one, which is the most difficult, is our attitudes. Okay? Because based on assumptions, we're going to build our attitudes. Okay? And these are, again, fixed most of the time. If you see yourself, your attitudes are not changing, or you are ashamed from your parents, they tell you, or your friends, or your colleagues, even for us as a professors, oh, Muhammad, or Dr. Ghosh, you are changing. You should be what? Not ashamed. You should be proud that you are changing. Not you are changing in size. Not you are changing again in your how you are writing or something. No, you are changing. If you are changing, it means you are living. Without change, ladies and gentlemen, we are not living. So the more we change to the better, the more we can contribute actually to the world. So based on assumptions and attitudes, we can change our behavior. Because our behaviors, which we deal with each other every day, is based on assumptions. How we see life, what is our position in life. Based on that, we produce we call it the behavior. And the last thing in the mindset is about what? Reflections. The way we deal with day-to-day, how we react to things. The more we start to build up this reaction, and we change it, the more we're going to start to change what? We go backward now. We change what? Help me, please. Our behavior. The more we change our behavior, we're going to change our attitude. The more we change our attitude, we're going to change our assumptions. Okay? And this will not happen by coincidence. To change your reactions to things, you have to do one of 3 or 4 things. The first thing is a shock, a crisis in life. And God forbid, you don't want to wait for that to change your behavior or your attitudes, right? When someone dies, God forbid, when one of your friends, mistreat you, cheat, you get cheated from some person you love or something like this. This is here you start to change your attitude and behavior. You don't want to wait for that. The other thing is that you start to read and visit best practices. You go to see best practice or say, wow, he's doing like this. Oh, then I can do it. If he can do it, I can do it. He's a human like me, so I can do it also. But the most important thing, I have to say, I summarize, I wanted to go into all of them. The most important thing I advise you to do is to go to the field. What means the field? Go to a place where it needs change. And you start to change. Today, when you came to the college, didn't you see lots of places that need to be changed? In order to, we become really a developed country, right? We've seen many poor people doing wrong practices, selling maybe spoiled food, cheating each other. The bus was dirty. The man he was shouting at us. The doorman he was not guarding the house. Something like this. You see lots of things. People unemployed, people in poverty. Lots of things is happening at one time. Okay, have we done anything about it? You've been seeing it in the last maybe 10 years of your life, since you got mature. Did you do anything about it? Have you thought? You thought, I'm sure, by the way, most of you, I know the Indians because I work with Indians, my teachers are Indians. You are value-based citizens. That's for sure. That's what differentiates India from China. Dr. Ghosh knows how much I talk about this differentiation. Okay? You could have been now having here skyscrapers and so on, but because you respect the right and democracy of others, and because for that you are the best democratic country in the world, by the way. Okay? So let's congratulate you on that. Okay? But to be also with democracy, and it's more difficult, huh? To be with democracy, we have our youth that are going to change things around them. Okay? That's a more challenging issue. That's a more challenging issue. And for that we said, there is lots of areas of resilience. One of the areas of resilience that we talk about is that sometimes we think about the challenges, and unfortunately we think about the challenges, and when we think about challenges, always we bring solutions, which is, we call it logical solutions. The more we are educated from one perspective, the more we become logical, whatever is our discipline. But the more we have multidisciplinary education, and this is what we are calling for with our colleagues, professors, to have really humanities with physics, in the one class, and we talk about it. For that, leading countries like Finland and so on, they are doing this multidisciplinary, seeing things, using our right brain and left brain at the same time to bring solutions. The more we will not be dependent on the capital-based solutions. I want more staff. I want more pay. I want more capital. I want more resources. I want more mix of both. Okay? Is this really a solution? If you bring something, solving problem just using computers, bringing more computers, which is important, but you say I solved the problem of the country because I brought this computer lab, like some colleges have shown me. See, our computer lab is very good and so on. Okay, I could have asked, okay, how many of these students who finish from this lab have really done something for the country or for themselves? Isn't it? This is the logical question that we should ask. So in order to be resilient, see, when we talk about inspiration economy, resilience economy, we'll ask more about, did we really manage to change the formula? What is this formula here as economists? Okay, formula here is supply versus demand. The more you give me demand, the more I need what? Supply. That's the formula they taught us since we are young and so on. But the inspiration-based economy talks about capacity versus demand. How much intrinsic powers I'm using now to solve a problem. Gandhiji, he didn't have WhatsApp, but he moved millions without WhatsApp, right? He was sitting in one place and other place. How come they hear him? By the way, this is the power of empathy. He had this empathetic thinking, which is feeling of others, because I talk from my heart and my mind at the same time. Not only from sympathetic, from my heart only, not logical only, having these both connected, because I see problems around me, because I start to solve any problem, because I try to solve it, even if I fail, no shame of failing because I'm trying something for my community. That makes a difference for our life and for our community. And this is changing me. I'm not doing something for others only. I'm doing something for me. And that's what the legends are working. And for that you'll see legends say, not I think, not I wish. They say always and they repeat, I believe. Okay? Right? They will not use I wish. Maybe, I wish tomorrow we can do something about it. Oh, I wish something. Maybe I'll go and talk to my mother. Ma, please let's give to Dorman some money. Did you really help him? Will you give him some money? If he's already under poverty, he will eat this 1-2 days and then he will come back to the same situation. His children are not educated, family poverty is deployed to each other and so on. So in reality, when we talk about socio-economic, it is a bomb that's going to come to us. It's already happening in lots of countries, developed countries. Okay, we've been in Canada for 1 month, lots of problems there. We thought Canada is a paradise. We're going to say, why people when they want to migrate, they end up migrating even from Europe, they want to go to Canada. But we've seen that, come on, is this life? There are lots of people unemployed, lots of people who migrate, they don't find jobs or they are not taken in jobs. Lots of people, unless you are born in Canada and so on. So that's, by the way, a socio-economic problem that comes in. So for that we call it about using our intrinsic powers and thinking about outcome, not results. It is not about, I have my son, Abdurrahman, he is disabled, semi-disabled, he have a cerebral palsy, mild cerebral palsy. But because his way of thinking is different, he is doing medical now last year, and he have his own ice cream brand. He creates his own ice cream brand. And he worked during summer with different fast food and so on. He built his brand over time. And always when he swim with me, always he finished maybe 3 laps while I'm just in the first lap. And always I tell him, how come you did that? He said, Baba, it's not about how much you do. It is about the way you do it. It is about the way we do it. It's not about how many results. It's not about if you are A student or B student or B plus student. This is important. But it is whether you are really a student in School of Life. Because the School of Life is different, my brothers and sisters, than school, than your college school. A School of Life, you are tested and then you learn. A school is what? You learn and then you get tested, isn't it? You study and so on. So it's totally different. You have to be prepared for School of Life. Maybe the college does not have this capacity. You have to go yourself and ask, where can I do projects? During my time, instead of sitting in a coffee shop, doing WhatsApp, chatting, whatever, you have really, now you are rich, you are wealthier than all the professors here. Why? In time. The most important thing in life is time. How much you are building your capacity in time. Okay? He's a student with you. Where is Nikhil? Stand up. Okay, please. Okay? He's a student doing masters in materials and electronics engineering. But he's been with us. We know that you have exams. But he's been with us 24 hours in the last 5 days. Okay? Let's give him applause, by the way. Okay? For what? For nothing. He's not paid. Okay? Some people joke at him, laugh at him. What is this? You're wasting your time going from here to here. You're going to Bombay, coming back, whatever. Okay? But this is a person who's working for the future, not working for today. He will have the holistic mindset. Okay? Not the only one perspective mindset. And this is, by the way, what we call for socio-economic problems. It is the power that we are talking about. It is the Gandhi's power. That we can influence our community without power. We don't need to have power, we don't need to have capital, we don't wait for the government to do something about my community. Okay, I was challenging each college sir that I've gone for, Mr. Vice Principal, that I want you to solve your community problem within the next 30 meters. You just take around your boundary and see what are the 30 meters and make a model from it. That's an example for the college, but for you guys, even if I know that academics, it will take time, they will discuss, they'll take it to the council, committees, and so on. But you guys, you have lots of opportunity in front of you, okay? To start small projects that will help you to see the world in a different way and will help you. And for that we say, the more we are centralized, like universities, okay, the more we are centralized, research will be resource dependent. And the more we are centralized, where in reality will not be flexible. Highly flexible means that we are connected with many things together. We are using many tools together in order to solve one problem. Okay? And that's what is differentiating the resilience and inspiring. I'm not telling you theories, and you'll see now through pictures. Also, I wish I showed you many of the case studies we have done, but we'll show you some of the case studies. See, in life, what will happen to us is that we'll end up, if we're trying to solve problems that face us in life, we'll end up with expected results. But if you want to be outcome-oriented, you want to leave a legacy after you leave this life, you want to build a legacy and see it in your life, you have to see what? Your intrinsic powers and to how to deal with a problem in a different way, without using the resources that we know about. And this is what differentiates people and their solutions. This is what we call, as I said, inspiring and resilient solutions. So inspiring and resilient solution doesn't come by coincidence. It comes by seeing a problem from different perspective, solving it without resources, with minimal things. Okay, like we'll show you, Dr. Donia will show you that. For example, today we know that we have differentiation in ages. People are taking longer time to grow up and much longer time to grow old. We'll have that problem in India, okay, especially in the middle class. We'll have more adolescence and adolescence will prolong as attitude I'm talking about till 30s. So people will show their adolescence till 30s. I can see this in my children. It's nothing to do with you guys, not meant to be, but it is reflected all over the countries. Practices now that done now by the 40s, it used to be done only by the 20s and the 30s. So we see lots of people, they try to show that they are still young, they go to the same clubs, they so and so on. Practice that is done by the 50s, it used to be done only by the 30s and 40s. And practice done by the 65s, it used to be done only by 45s. 65, they consider themselves under maturity. They are still maturing. Okay? So we'll have lots, and the more we give healthcare, the more we'll have people, and also we'll have the problem of increasing the number of dependency. We call it the dependency ratio. You read about this. So we'll have more dependent to carry with you, like what's happening in Japan and so on. And also, by the way, fertility is reducing in the world. So we'll have a problem of what? People that is having more aging and less people coming, new generation to life and so on. So this is an example of what's happening to the life, and this will bring with it lots of problems. For that we say, we need to use the power of observation from now. So even we start from youngsters, like the younger than you, even in elementary, to start to integrate with their socioeconomic problems. Otherwise, we'll end up, instead of being a resilient society, okay, and inspiring society, we'll end up to be stable society only. I know that you are not deteriorating society for sure, a growing society. Or maybe you'll be success-driven society. Means success what? It will be what's in it for me. Me and the others, I don't care. So I will be what? More, like I was mentioning here, I'll be more concentrating on the individual, more than the community and the organization. Well, if I want to continue that to make my country develop, if I want to make India really number one in everything, not only in GDP, it makes a lot of difference. I need to work very hard in different way so that I bring things together. And that's differentiate what's low resilient community with high resilient community. They are solving problems. They are not waiting to make the status quo. They are not managing the problems of today and just closing it. Even they start to think about the future. Foresight, we have one of our books we are working on now. Foresighting the future. Foresighting the future, we're talking about 50 years from now. How countries will be. How problems will be from 50 years from now. I'm not talking about artificial intelligence, car without a driver, airplane without a pilot. That's something as we know, it's coming. I'm not talking that how many people from India will go to Mars. Already your country is leading that. Okay, that's very congratulations on that. But what will happen to the societies, the communities, if we don't solve their problems in a proper way? So we are talking really about moving from capital-based economy solutions, where we try to deal with prosperity with scarcity mindset. I want to be successful, but if she's successful, she'll be competing with me. I need to push her out. Okay? No, it doesn't happen like this. Life, it doesn't happen like this. If we are not living, if we are not really inspiring others, Always I repeat this Gordon Brown, the Prime Minister of UK. Okay? He was kicked out from his party and he left the Prime Ministry. And he said after that he learned a big lesson. He said, I remember now why I was not living. Because if I didn't drink water for 3 days, I could have died. If I didn't breathe air for a few seconds, I could have died that time. But I was all my life, and he was in the 40s, at the end of his 40s, all of my life, I was living without inspiration, without seeing what I will reflect and my legacy to my community. I was working for myself. Okay? So you can imagine if Prime Minister he says that, what we should say about ourselves. So we're working really in a mindset that sees abundance and possibilities. Everything you can do together, even today the pledge we're going to do together, later you can see that we say alone we are weak, together we are strong. When I say alone, not only together we are strong, I'm not saying you in this room, I'm saying even the people, the poor people outside this boundary. Okay? Alone we are weak, together we are strong, together with them we are strong. Together with them, solving their problem, solving my house problem, solving my family problem, solving my community problem, I am strong. Okay? That's what may make a difference in our life and our communities in general. And for that we say, and this may be for you interesting, Dr. Ghosh, we need institutes like this college, Strong College. Okay? We need NGOs to work together, to make live models, to bring projects and programs together, and then they put it in research and development. Otherwise, socioeconomic problems will increase and we'll have, community without destiny. We'll have communities that is staying, things are developing around them. By the way, I see the lots of buildings coming up, many hotels coming up in Nashik. I'm seeing lots of shops, streets are becoming better, cars are but are people becoming better in reality? Okay. Even if they have more money today than before, are they really happy? Because happiness is something else. Happiness is that about community relations, solving each other problems, and feeling the touch of each other. Let's open the model, please. The model. He will open. So I let now Dr. Dunya. She will talk to you about different models. For example, that we invite you to. I'm sure there is lots of models you can bring in India, but these are examples of models. We have 10 minutes more?
Open the women empowerment and talk from there about the model.
Okay, open women.
Yes.
هاي مالي ولا مالي؟ عرفتها؟ هذه؟ لا مو هاي مو مالي.
Bring from the third slide.
Okay.
Yes. Four. Yes.
Yeah.
So good afternoon everyone again, and it's so difficult for me to talk about this powerful presentation that Dr. Muhammad has already given. And I was planning first, as Dr. Muhammad was explaining, to talk about some case studies, but I thought let me little bit talk about women empowerment as far as this was our discussion today morning with your staff, and as I can see more women here, and there I'll give more case study that we worked about women. And here what Dr. Muhammad was saying when we talk about women empowerment, that's why he enlarged the word we. It's we who empower ourselves, and when we think about we as a whole, we as me and myself, we as us, we as the community, we as the country and the nation. So it's not only about individual person that we are talking on when we are talking about inspiration economy, and how we are talking about the external power and intrinsic power. And when we talk here about women empowerment, as Dr. Muhammad has taught me, we always talk that we are thinking always about three levels. We talk about women empowerment and women development and women advancement. And we mostly sometimes, in lots of our work, we think of a growth. How do my market growth? How do my income growth? How does the GDP in my country grow? So we only take the numbers and how they are growing, and we are not taking about the sense of it and how we develop these things. And here where we use the theory that Dr. Muhammad was talking about, the supply versus demand, versus capacity versus demand. People, especially in economists, there was a lot of that. That we talk about what is our capacity to work. I mean, in here, it's not about what only we have in the street. We look at the strength that they are there in the streets, in the society, in the community, and then how we can work of it. And here where we talk about, I was saying earlier, when we work about women empowerment, we work in 3 levels. Okay, we always start with empowering for women, and then we work on empowering for women to being independent in terms of everything, in terms of getting educated, getting their own income, running their own life, and also the second level is for them to get developed. So, and we worked a lot on developed program that I'm going to give you more example about, and that help women to be also have more capacity demands, and then the advancements of women. And here, if you can give me a chance to speak about some of the examples about these 3 stories. When we are talking about women independence and developments and advancements of women. I'll keep in this slide. So it's a story that I've been repeating a little bit in few colleges here, and since I came to India, and it's in the country of Mauritania that Dr. Mohammed had visited there. And this story, why I keep repeating, because it's given a good example of empowerment and using minimum resources and the power in the society to empower these women. This is about some women, local women, living in rural areas in Mauritania that it's very famous, and they have lots of camel, and they are very famous in wool camel carpet doing, where they have these handmade carpet machines, and they used to do these carpets and sell it, but of course not in a good marketing program, and so it didn't help them a lot in getting a good income, but it was in a community base that all women come and they work. Sometimes for empowering, we get busy of how we get funds from other countries. And here we're one of the rich, high petroleum countries. They decided to give a few million to this country to support and empower women. And this was from this point of view that empowering will be by putting more money in this project. What happened there, that when we tried to study this case, we said and to bring these automated factory there, so it's going to be automated carpets. We thought that if we are going to have an automated carpet, it's good to have fun sometimes to help women, but sometimes it doesn't empower them really, because what these automated machines going to be, it's not going to have a higher income for them. What's going to be, it's going to be a machine carpet that even it cannot compete the carpets that come from China. So their market, Mauritania, in the north of Africa, which they are closer, and their market was Europe, so they are not going to buy these carpets because it's not organic anymore, it's not handmade anymore, it's not as fast as good, and whatever they're going to find to have it in China. The second thing, it's going to destroy their social life, because we are talking about women who work in these projects are almost 50 plus, 60 plus, who want to be in their community. When you are going to have one centralized factory there, that means all these women have to leave their family for a few days, come and work here, only go back on the weekend, and you can see how much social problem this may create for them. They will maybe be in a position that they are going either to leave their families or they have to leave their jobs because the balance here is so difficult. So it wasn't that economic well studied, not socially well studied. We thought we can interpret here with a very minimum resources there. I mean, we said, no, we want to maintain these hand-made machine. We are going to bring more of them, and we are going to put them in 5 different villages and few homes where women within their setup in their villages, they come in morning, they gather together, they do these hand-made machines. This solved, okay, the social problem. Did it solve the economic problem? Yes, because it's now handmade carpet, which is going to be more valued in European country. And what we had there, that we also write the story of each family and village within this carpet. Because when you have the story, people also going to appreciate it more. It's not only a carpet, it's a handmade carpet. It's one of the best wool they have because it's from the camel. There is a story behind it. There's a story of the village behind it. There is the whole things about it. So here sometimes it's not only by giving resources and more money you can empower more, but because when you think of the social aspects and the other aspects and what even the social aspects that the other ones and your local ones and everything, you can give here more empowerment about women. And we worked also with a very, very strong women organization in Bosnia. Maybe we worked at the branch that is in Bihać because it has more than one branch here. Here where they work mostly in development program. They had lots of programs for women. And I'll give a small example of one of the things that we worked with it. They have lots of examples. That sometimes they go and they're driven by numbers and how they want to develop women, and they get funds a lot from the European Union and their European neighbors, and how to give training for women in different things. They try to give lots of training, and the most funded they got and enrollments they got from students is to learn some of the foreign languages like Germany and other languages and culture. What these courses make, in their annual reports, they will have high number of funds, they will have high number of women who are well trained. But what this made to their country, that these women were getting training, good language trainings and others, so it's much easier for them to migrate and leave the country. So then there will be the whole middle age, working age class, women who can be part of the economy of their country in a way that they were trying to develop women. They went outside just because we got an easy fund for this project. It doesn't mean that this project is going to be a right project, because if you don't get to study the circumstances of what this project is going on. And I will just to make it faster, how we work in women advancements in Bahrain. I mean, okay, we have lifelong education as being an open country and island, as Dr. said in his speech. And we are in favor, of course, of the people from India who came from 100 years before back to Bahrain and help us on lots of issues and things. And here where the empowerment of women came. And then here where we do more calculation that it's now if women are empowered for a while. We cannot say always forever and we say we are women, we need empowerment. It's time for women to come and contribute to our GDP, contribute to our local work. And here where we try to change our national plan. The national plan of women used to always count how many women are enrolled in education, how many women are employed, how many women, so it was only how many training we give. This was the type of things that we used to measure rather than the outcomes. How come when we try to change things, you are trying to measure how if woman gets higher education, higher position that we want, how it's affecting her social life. And I'll give here also about one small example, and because I inspired today with Dr. who we were speaking about divorce and how we are trying to tackle the problem of divorce here in India and trying to bring law of it. I'll speak to you about a program that we worked in it in Bahrain. It was about, we had started in the last 10 years, okay, the advancements of women, the empowerment of women went higher, we are more independent as women, we have more income and funds, and with the youth generation, with how they have fast decisions and everything, the percentage of divorce also went high. So this was like a red flag that we had to look and stop of it. How that some empowerment NGOs and organizations start to work, they say, yes, we want to empower women. How was their thinking of empowerment? That we are going to provide free lawyers for women who are in need, and free consultancy for all women to get help with their issues. And what did this make when you have a free lawyer? It will help you always to go more advanced in your problem and immediately go to divorce, because the setup is there. I have a problem, now I'm ready, I go, I get the support I get is a free lawyer, it's going to take it for a divorce. So this empowerment that came, it's also increased the problem, it didn't reduce it. We try to start with one of our main organization in Bahrain and how to reduce this problem in a different way. We say, okay, if you come a woman here, and always when a person come, they are in a high temper, immediately you want to go to the extreme level. You think that everything should be closed. We say, okay, we will calm you down. If you are eligible for a free lawyer, we are going to give you. But first you have to meet with social workers, social rehabilitation services. We talk about it. Believe it or no, more than 50% from the cases that we met, they get rid of the idea of divorce. I mean, we say talaq is abghad al-halal, but it's always there. We don't want it to happen, but it's there in the religion at the end of the day, in Islamic religion we believe. But it shouldn't be our shortcut to it. So only by giving them the choice that first a minimum of 3 sessions we have to sit with you before you even can sit with a lawyer consultancy, that reduces like 50% of the cases that had in this organization and a percentage of divorce. And then by then, after a few years, even the country adapted as a law, and we are like from the very minimum countries that 40% percentage of divorce went lower, rather than the forecasting was about going higher, we try to bring it lower. So here we say in the advancement, it's the way we measure the things and we bring all things together, and how we give the services should be changed. Here is example and also as you say in your speech, this is the Indian age structure, and you are very lucky that you have a balance between male and female. You have very youth, but the thing that you have lots of people are depending on, we are talking about empowerment of women, but we have lots of the generation up here and down here from the male, they are also depending on the woman here. So unless the work balance is not there, women are here going to be stretched, because we have the button and the top also depending on her a lot in a different way that will not help him. And here's some about the social responsibility and volunteers work. Do we have time or to go? Okay. All right. So if you want to continue from here.
Okay. I think we are taking longer time, and we appreciate your patience. What Dr. Dunya was trying to tell you at the end of the day is that if we really work also in socioeconomic problems, and the mindset of problem solving will create other problems. What we are calling for in this presentation, we work on problem finding, which means we find a problem and will be having high appreciation that God has given us the power or the mind and the mindset to work with this problem. Because each problem, ladies and gentlemen, have lots of opportunities. So instead of trying to bring a solution for each problem, right? This is the formula that we work for. We should find opportunities inside each problem. What have we presented to you, even from the divorce cases or other cases, is that we find always opportunities inside each problem. Even the migration issue that she's spoken about, we found that it brought lots of opportunities to the country, so that they are more alarmed the way they are teaching their students. They were following a European curriculum that prepare manpower, because Europe is poor in manpower, and Bosnia was full of youth, especially after the war. So Europe was taking these people making them citizens, so that they use them, because we are mostly Europeans. Okay, so the country was losing its real capital. Okay, so for that by this I would like to thank you very much for your patience. But before we go, I would like to explain to you one concept that we will take a pledge on. My hand is small, but I try to explain, even the guys in the back, sorry. In this area, we have the area we call it empathy. And by the way, it comes from the Indian culture. Okay, this area here is the way. For that, when we shake each other hand, we are really moving this area very strong. Okay, so I would like you to stand now, please, all of you.
Yeah, because I tried to.
Okay, just let's wait to sit in your chair.
Let the lights be on.
Okay, sit in your chair. Sorry, not sit, stand stand near your chair, and raise your right hand up. Right hand up, left hand down. Okay, same as what I'm doing with Dr. Bush. Okay, he's a professor and military man, so last time he held my hand, he broke my hand. Okay, so now we try to clip with your friend like this. Same way, yes. Now keep it right hand up, left hand down, yes. Same way, okay? So, clap with your friend near to you, all of you together. Yes? Can you see the blood flow? Yes? Yes? You can feel the blood flow? This guy is breaking my hand already. Okay? So repeat after me. Don't make like this. See, you can make like this only with your wife, with your husband. It's not allowed, okay? Because you'll fly. I'll make you now fly. But fly a little bit, huh? Flying like this is, you can do it at home. Okay? Okay, so repeat after me. Alone we are weak.
Alone we are weak.
You know, they said this college is the best college, triple A, whatever is getting accreditation. I didn't see that. I want to see this more. Alone we are weak.
Alone we are weak.
Together we are strong.
Together we are strong.
Alone we are weak.
Alone we are weak.
Together we are strong.
Together we are strong.
We shall work together.
We shall work together.
We shall work with the poor.
We shall work with the poor.
We shall work with the needy.
We shall work with the needy.
We shall work with the unemployed.
We shall work with the unemployed.
We shall work with the new students.
We shall work with the new
And mutual trust.
and mutual trust
And responsibility.
and responsibility.
My opinion is of no importance.
Is of no importance.
The only thing of importance
The only thing of importance
is the reality.
is the reality.
We shall change it
We shall change it
with teamwork.
with teamwork.
Working for our college
Working for
is all about teamwork.
It's all about teamwork.
Working for Nashik
Working for us.
is all about teamwork.
It's all about teamwork.
Working for India
Working for
is all about teamwork. Working in the principles of Gandhi
working in the
is all about teamwork.
It's all about teamwork.
Hey, teamwork! Hey, our college! Hey, India! Thank you very much.
And I'll like to thank you to our professors, HOD Dr. V.S. Kalesa as well as Matsaga sir, who supported for this event throughout. Like I received a call late night 12:30 from Kalesa to ask like what is the thing and what is that. So he's so much cooperative, and I think so he deserves a round of applause for him. So I would like to tell you that it is a collaboration between PRDF, that is a home-based NGO in Nashik, as well as in IIIE, which is founded by Dr. Mohammad Buheji as well as co-founder Dr. Dunia Ahmed ma'am. So what we are doing, we are much more interested on the field work. Okay. So Dr. Mohammad Buheji told you about the concept, which is first learn and then test. That is done in the schools, okay? A life of schools. But life of life, it's different. School of life, it's different, okay? So you have to first be tested and then you learn. So first we have to face the challenges, the ground level challenges, the socioeconomic challenges, and then we have to learn from that challenges. So for that, what we are doing is that collecting the students like for you guys, and you can register with us, and we can do the socio-economic projects like what we can give to our society. For myself, like what I think, getting educated is not about only reading books, getting certification and other things. It's all about how much you contribute to your society. It's all about that, okay? So this is the idea behind that, and I'll tell you that all the doors are open for you guys. Free anytime, free to contact with us, contact with our college principals, vice principals, as well as Dr. Ghosh, as well as with me. So the another announcement is that there's a competition, okay? There's a project competition as well, the best project as well too. There are two competitions, best project and best paper competition. I'd like to tell you that there's an international journal of IIIE as well, and they are having call for papers. So you can just give your papers over there, as well as the faculty members, including the students, and the winning prize is, I guess, so $1,000, right? Yeah, $1,000, as well as the competition. There are two competitions. So the second one is a project. So I invite you all guys for these two competitions, as well as register yourself with the project. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And the idea of getting registration is to make a youth forum in Nashik itself, who will be representing India in all over the world. So that's the idea. So register yourself. I just think that I have just passed on the paper with the email ID, phone number, as well as your name. So we'll stay in touch like after this event for sure. Thank you.
We have already 500 students registered in Nashik in our presentation.
I just would like to make a point
clear what Nikhil has said. Nashik-based NGO PRDF, in collaboration with IIIE, we are actually making a youth forum in Nashik for the purpose of working in the field. What Dr. Mohammed said, that we will actually invite the challenges and then work in the field for the purpose of contributing to the society. And I do request you all to register your name in the youth forum, and PRDF as well as the IIIE is thinking to actually give certain facilities to the students.
Training.
Like for example, like the students can have exchange program going to other states like Bosnia or in any European countries to study their projects. So initially we are planning to start with that concept. And I do hope that you all will register, and we will identify a few problems based in Nashik only, and we will work as a team for solving all those problems, particularly focusing on socio-economic sector. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I think we all feel very privileged that Dr. Mohammed and Dr. Dunia have chosen to come to our college and expose our students to such an opportunity. Thank you, Dr. Mohammed, who has talked so much about changing the mindset. He has also taught us about, or he has made us aware about the school of life. Then we had so many things to learn. They have also introduced us to the concept of, we knew that we had to learn and then give a test, but they have introduced us to a different concept of first taking the test and then learning. We also thank Dr. Dunia Ahmed for sharing her success stories of women empowerment and working constructively to resolve the problems that were stories about solving the problems that came up with women empowerment. Sir has also enlightened us about finding opportunities in the problems rather than finding solutions to the problems. Before we end up with this session, I would like Dr. B.D. Patil Madam to propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, all the colleagues and dignitaries on the dais. Lastly, I stand before you to propose the vote of thanks. I express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Mohammed Buheji and Dr. Dunia Ahmed, who are international experts from Bahrain, for delivering such a wonderful and intellectual and valuable lecture on youth inspiration and women empowerment. I extend my gratitude to our Honorable Principal Dr. B.P. Gaikwad for his motivation and support. I also thank all the colleagues of that NGO, means members of the NGO, and like this scene, and also thank to Dr. Ghosh from Bhosla College. I also thank the organizer of the program, Dr. Savre, Vice Principal Dr. Matsagar, Professor Kare, then Dr. Bandal ma'am, Pawar ma'am, for their active participation in the program. I also thank all the staff members, students and non-teaching staff whose presence has made this event successful. Thank you very much.